Dee Dee asks, I want to teach my kids that porn is wrong, but I don't want to disturb their innocence by putting these ideas in their heads in the first place. How or what age can I teach them without harming them? I do believe that if they saw an indecent image at this point, they would have intuition enough to know that it's wrong. I know I can't necessarily rely solely on this intuition, though, for them to actively avoid pornography forever. Fantastic question. Obviously, as parents, we want to avoid scandalizing our children, and yet we can't get away from the fact that our children live in the same society that we do, and the images that bombard them from magazine covers to movie scenes or whatever else are piquing their curiosity. So how do we deal with this? I would say that we can talk to our children in an age-appropriate way, okay, about pornography. Now, to prove this to you, because that might horrify you, I would point out that we talk to our children about even more disturbing things in an age-appropriate way. What do I mean? Well, if you've ever taken your child to a fair or a music festival or a theme park, you may have had them run away from you. Have you ever had that experience if you're a parent? It's absolutely terrifying. You are searching for them for maybe 2, 5, 10 minutes, but it feels like hours. And when you finally catch up with them, maybe you learn that they were just going off to the bathroom or something. You get down on their level and you say, you can't run away from mummy or daddy like that. And when they say, why not? You say a very terrifying thing to them. You say, because there could be a bad man who could take you away from us. Now, that's statistically unlikely, but it is possible. And because it's possible, and because you want to keep your children safe, you say just enough to educate them about the potential danger that certain strangers may pose. Okay. I would say if we can talk about child abduction and whatever else that involves in an age-appropriate way, we can talk about pornography as well. So I'm of the opinion that we should talk to our children about pornography from about the age of 6. Why do I say 6? Because it's usually at the age of 6 that a child has access to a screen, maybe an iPad or an iPhone or a TV or a computer at school or a computer at their friend's house. And screens access the internet, which accesses all sorts of images, obviously. How might we talk to a 6-year-old about pornography? Well, here I want to draw from the work of Kristen Jensen, who wrote an excellent book called Good Pictures, Bad Pictures, Porn-Proofing Today's Young Kids. All right. And let me tell you how I first addressed my child when he asked me what pornography was. He was 7 at the time, sitting in the back of the car, and I've written a lot on this topic, and so I suppose it was only a matter of time before he should say, "What's pornography?" So he did, but I was nervous because I didn't want to mess this up. Here's what I said, and you can use this as a template to talk to your kids. I said, well, pornography is pictures or videos of people who are showing parts of their body that their bathing suit should cover. And if you ever see this, or if somebody ever shows it to you, you should always tell mummy and daddy. You might think you'd be in trouble, but you really wouldn't be. We'd be just so proud of you for bringing that to us. I really think that you can say those words to your children. I think it's very appropriate to say that to a 6-year-old. I don't think this conversation should come out of the blue. I think it should be amidst an ongoing conversation that we have with our children regarding the goodness of their bodies. Why we dress modestly, why we don't show our private parts in public, and this sort of thing. I would also advise that you use the correct anatomical words when talking with your children about this. Sometimes parents feel a lot of shame and a lot of fear because of what they've experienced in the past. But you have to understand, when you use the word pornography or the anatomically correct words to your children, in doing that, you're not conjuring up the possible horrible ideas that come up in your mind because of what you've been exposed to. If they're 6 or 7 or 8 and they haven't been exposed to these things yet, it's just going to be sort of matter of fact. So don't be afraid. And I'll leave you with this piece of advice. An awkward conversation about things that matter is better than no conversation at all. So this doesn't need to be awkward, but if the only way you know how to do it is to do it awkwardly, that's okay. I mentioned Kristen Jensen's book, Good Pictures, Bad Pictures, Porn-Proofing Today's Young Kids. Buy that from Amazon, buy a bunch, give them to your friends. That would be a great way to begin this conversation. It's very age appropriate, very beautiful. I'd recommend that.